Hi all, I'm Tony, this is SV Tapatya, and are we building? I suppose we are building a cruising sailboat. We've nearly finished. As you probably know, last week we launched, which was a great event and went very smoothly. And then post-launch, which is this week that you're going to see in the video, we had a few things to do. We wanted to get the stanchions and railings on, get the sails on and rigged, the running rigging that involves, or at least enough of that to be able to sail the boat. We needed to provision. We had a few things to do around and about, put it that way. I wanted to put some cleats on my mast, my stainless mast fittings. A few things around about that needed doing before we'd be ready to sail. And the plan is to go sailing Thursday of this week as I speak to you, so in was that three days from now. As you might hear, it's very, very blustery at the moment, and the next few days are forecast to be blustery. So today's Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and then hopefully Thursday we'll get some wind that will suit us, and we'll go out for our first sail, which, as you can probably imagine, is very exciting. Did a few other bits and pieces, hooked up the VHF antenna, hooked up the masthead lights, done some software things, putting the numbers in the VHF and the AIS, trying to successfully hooking up to the chart plotter and things like that. So been very, very busy, a lot of driving to and fro, getting us ready to go. So we'll look. Well, in the end I've decided to clean up all the stanchions I had, take them up there and pick the best of them when I'm up at the boat. You can see the angles that they sit at and whatever. It would have been good if I bought a hammer, that would have been a very simple idea. That bolt's going to go through there. Then I'm just going to drill small holes for pre-drill the two that are going to be screws. Just mark those two there, come in the middle. Like that and like that. And that should be ready to actually be fitted, shouldn't it? You'll have to take off. Then we'll take this away. I'll sand under that. I can see the circle because I've got 4 holes drilled. And then we'll make up a bit of epoxy and better. And that actually sits on there really well, doesn't it? Yeah. So I really like that there. It's not the cleanest stanchion you've ever seen, but I always imagine that one day, when I'm quietly at anchor, sipping a nice cold beer, I'll just sit here and polish my stainless steel. That would be a lovely day. I've got to redo all this at the branches. I should be sipping a nice cold beer and doing all sorts of things. More than enough, shouldn't it?
Should be.
You're going to have to very soon, I'll just get this one through. Find the hole again. There it is. does look good and strong, doesn't it? And you get a bit of acetone or scraper or whatever and clean that up. That does look good, doesn't it? Huh? That's right, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that, happy, yeah, it might not be the most decorative stanchion, but it's strong, proper strong. Once it holds itself, it's even proper stronger. It's good. Let's do that one next.
Yeah.
We've just filled up the water tanks and look at that. Isn't that lovely? That's beautiful. This is the salt water, which is also working nicely. Over in the heads. Oh, let me just show you this, Polo. This is the mast. It's in the middle of the sort of cabin area, and that was a source of some concern, I must be honest. But stove, and I did some careful measurements. But this is really, really clear, lovely through here. I'm very, very pleased. There's the mast up in the forward end of the forward, or the forepeak. Come out well, and I shall be laying up in there later, but I have no worries. And that's the view of the cabin with the mast in the way, and I thought that would change things totally, but in truth it doesn't block off the light. Walking past it is easy. Opening the doors to the door to the heads is easy, which I'll just do now and show you. So there we go. In here, plenty of rooms all through there. And there's the foot pump for the heads, fresh water. Very, very lovely. Well, it's, what is it, 9 o'clock? 9 o'clock in the morning of Sunday the 30th of July. I've just spent my first night on board, a very, very comfortable night on board as well, I have to say. And the forepeaks worked out beautifully. You know, obviously that mast comes down at the foot end, but there's plenty of room to put your feet alongside it, or, you know, with just me, as I can lay at any sort of diagonal I like. There's plenty of room on the forepeak, that's the point. Got stove lit, got my first coffee on. Over there, look. Warming the kettle, heating the kettle. Have a cup of coffee soon. I started wiring the masthead light, running the cable for it, at least. I haven't connected it yet, but the plan is today to connect that up. I also had a look at the masthead running rigging and put the foresaw in the mast lift and sort of lashed it in position. So it kind of looks right now, and thoughts are turning to connecting up all of that running rigging. I had a big sort out, and if I just pan around, you'll see that things are a bit more organised, and no doubt there'll be a lot more organisation still to do, but I've generally moved things down lower with the heavier items, screws and tools and whatever that were up on the shelves here just temporarily, and now down lower. And it's a beautiful sunny day out there, looking good. Something I'm slightly less pleased with is this flat hose on a roll. Well, the flat hose is fine, but getting it back on the roll, as you might see, is a nightmare, because once you've got some water in the hose, it's not as flat, and it seems very difficult to get that water out so you can get it back on the roll. Plus it just fell apart, so I have to screw it back together again. So slightly less pleased with that, but as a hose pipe it works. The storage. Soldering iron running off the inverter, which is very cool. inverter running off the batteries being charged by the sun. What a wonderful world we live in. I'm soldering with power from the sun. It's incredible. Isn't it just incredible? Oh, okay, well done. Made a little mistake in that I put that one should have been at the top. That one should have been at the top. Easily moved. That's that done, and those two. So just putting the barrels on, which go from the front of the sail around the mast, hold the sail against the mast. Fairly low tech devices. That's going to come to there, and we'll have a bit more length for luck, something like that. Bowling at the front and round turn 2 other hitches at the back. That's very nice. Good old round turn and 3 half hitches there. That's the first panel. Rigging at this stage is kind of temporary. These no doubt will change at some stage, and we just want to get it set up and working. Good, ready for the next one.
Sauber durch, der zu langsam fängt er das Hüpfen an. Und so ab ungefähr 70, 80 km/h, da hat er richtig schön durchgeschnitten durch die Wellen. Also egal, ob 50 Welle aus dem Meter oder kannst du so sauber durch. Ja, genau. Ja, genau. Also sauber mal durch. Und mit anderen gefahren, die konnten nicht so schnell. Und dann war mein Fehler, hab ich abgebremst, auf die zu warten, hab eine so eine Kreuzwelle. Mit 60, 90 Gramm.
Miss Molly's old lace jacks.
Die ganze Seite blau gelegen, Nackenschwester, einzige, der ganz entspannt saß auf der Bank. Aber die anderen Boote mehr, die mitgefahren sind. Muss das Wetter aus? Machen wir. Ja. Badehose. Ja. Lukas hat nicht Kurzhose. Ja, das war das Wichtigste. Ich habe heute Morgen gedacht, Kurzhose muss sein. Aber ich sagte, weil ich eine Jacke mitgenommen habe.
Yeah, nothing. It's purely a junk. It's, you know, it's all held together with bits of string. And one wears out, you just get another bit of string. It's a marvellous thing. And these sails from Sebastian, from the Tugwerkstatt in Greifswald, the system he's developed is just marvellous. Marvellous. It's so easy to rig. Good. Go for another panel. Perhaps I'll pull it up now and you do the sheet then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to go up a little bit more and we can get the last parallel and the lazy jacks. Let's do it now. That's that then. Now I'm going to adjust the mast lift now. And then we'll get the lazy jacks on. I've done a temporary job on the sheets. So I just used some old rope just to try and get the lengths, and you know, that's by no means finished, but it is a functioning sheet at the very least. We could sail. Well, just a couple of quick words from the editing studio. It's been hectic this week, absolutely hectic. Elizabeth and I have been up at the boat, we've been here, we've been working full time, full on, more than full time, getting ready. Basically, this boat has never been to sea, and we've got to get everything ready to go to sea on it, and you know, that involves bringing absolutely everything that's here at home and not forgetting anything up there, stowing it. I've had to download various bits of software. Last night about 11 o'clock in the evening I was downloading charts for the chart plotter. As I say, it's been full on. The rigging, I will give you a detailed talk through the rigging. When I've got it set up, I'll do a video, or at least a major part of a video, going through that rig in detail and telling you what's what and how it all hangs together. So it's still coming. The mainsail, the foresail, I've got that temporary sheet rigged. It's rigged, basically, there's probably one or two lines still to go on. The mainsail, I've got to do the sheet still. Thursday morning, when it's calm, it's been so windy, still is windy. Thursday morning when it's calm, I'll get out there, rig the sheet, and then we'll leave. And any other rigging lines that are missing will be done underway or at anchorage or whatever. That will then be enough for us to be able to sail. So we've got to put a couple of cleats on these mast fittings for the lazy jet lines, and stainless on stainless. I'm just going to weld them there. Basically do this, won't it? Should be fine, shouldn't it? Yeah. Well, they need a clean up, but that's going to have to happen when they're on the boat, because we are planning to go sailing on Thursday and time is tight. It's a little bit stressful. Provisioning. We're looking to leave on Thursday, and that's our dry provisioning for now. Got one or two bits on already. It's a very, very blustery day. At the minute it's a calm spell, but there's some enormous gusts coming through that rock us. But luckily they're coming from our port side, so it just pushes us away from the dock, which is okay. But as I say, very blustery. What are you doing, Elizabeth?
I'm filling up the spice pots.
And what's that one?
This is
green cardamom. Oh, lovely. Getting the spice rack topped up there, isn't that? That's a sign of something readiness, isn't it, when you're filling your spice rack?
Yeah.
And there we go, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. As ever, an enormous thank you to the lovely people that support us on Patreon and via PayPal, that make these videos possible. And we'll be, well, hopefully next week's video will be our first sale. It's important to stress perhaps that these are test sales, they're sea trials, no? So we'll be trying her out and we'll be learning about things that we still need to do. She's not finished, we're not sailing off into the distance. It's a very much part of the build, sea trials, and there will be no doubt jobs to be done this winter based on those trials. But next video should be some sailing. Looking forward to it. See you then. Bye.